Hey there, Falcons fans. Welcome to your go-to spot for the latest Atlanta Falcons news, analysis, and exclusive updates. Before we jump into today's exciting story, take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us grow this amazing Falcons community, and we couldn't do it without you. Let's dive right in. The Falcons made an intriguing move on Thursday, signing veteran wide receiver and Pro Bowl return specialist Jakeem Grant to the practice squad. If that name rings a bell, it's because Grant, now 32, made waves during his time with the Miami Dolphins before being traded to the Chicago Bears in 2021. His explosive play as a return specialist even earned him a Pro Bowl selection that same year. However, the past couple of years have been tough for Grant. Injuries, including Achilles tendon and knee issues, have kept him off the field for 2 entire seasons. Despite these setbacks, his career stats show just how much of a game changer he can be. Grant has logged 119 punt returns for 1,228 yards and 4 touchdowns, as well as 110 kick returns for 2,699 yards and 2 more touchdowns. Not only that, but he's also made contributions as a receiver, with 100 catches for 1,140 yards and 7 touchdowns. Even with these impressive stats, this move raises eyebrows. It's the 3rd time this season the Falcons have brought him on board, only to release him shortly after. Will this be the time he sticks around? Only time will tell. In addition to Grant, the Falcons also signed former Packers safety Benny Sapp III to the practice squad. While Sapp may not have the same name recognition, he could add valuable depth to the roster as the team gears up for the crucial final stretch of the season. And now, let's switch gears to talk about head coach Raheem Morris and the growing concerns surrounding his leadership. As the Falcons fight to stay in the playoff hunt, Morris's recent comments about Kirk Cousins and the quarterback situation have sparked heated debates among fans and analysts. Morris, now in his 2nd season as head coach, has been a divisive figure. The Falcons have shown glimpses of greatness, like that thrilling win over the Eagles earlier this season. But at the same time, they've struggled with inconsistency, from penalties and questionable in-game decisions to the ongoing uncertainty at quarterback. His latest remarks on Kirk Cousins had fans scratching their heads. Morris praised Cousins for his improvement from the Chargers game to the Vikings game, pointing out his nearly 350-yard performance. While that might seem encouraging on the surface, it's left many wondering about the bigger picture. Let's break this down a little more. First, let's talk about Kirk Cousins' stats. While his yardage might look impressive at a glance, much of it came during garbage time when the Falcons were already losing by double digits. Sure, he threw fewer interceptions this week, 2 compared to 4 the previous game. But is that really the standard we're holding a 13-year veteran quarterback to? It's hardly the improvement you'd expect from someone tasked with leading the team. What makes this even more puzzling is Coach Raheem Morris's take on stats. Just last week, after Kyle Pitts went without a single catch against the Saints, Morris brushed off concerns by saying, "Stats are for losers. It's just about winning the game." Yet now, he's pointing to Cousins' numbers to defend his performance. This flip-flop doesn't exactly inspire confidence in his leadership. This isn't the first time Morris has faced criticism for his approach. During his time with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he used the same "stats are for losers" line in a 10-6 season. The following year, the team collapsed, going 4-12, and Morris was let go. Naturally, Falcons fans are worried about history repeating itself. The situation is even more complicated with rookie quarterback Michael Penix Jr. in the mix. Drafted 8th overall, Penix is seen as the team's future. But despite Cousins' recent struggles, 8 interceptions and 0 touchdowns over the past 4 games, Morris has been hesitant to give the rookie a shot. When asked about Penix, Morris stood firm, saying, "He's our future, but I don't want to rush him. When it's time, it'll be time." He pointed out that rushing young quarterbacks into action too early has backfired for other teams, and he's determined not to make the same mistake. While it's admirable to protect a young player's development, at what point does sticking with a struggling veteran hurt the team more than it helps? The Falcons are still in the playoff hunt with a 6-7 record, but time is running out. Cousins needs to turn things around quickly, starting with Monday night's game against the Raiders. If not, the calls to give Penix a chance will only grow louder. Of course, the quarterback situation isn't the only issue. The Falcons' tendency to play inconsistently against stronger opponents while relying on wins against weaker teams is another concerning trend. Aside from their big win against the Eagles, the team has struggled to find its footing against tough competition. The Falcons' inconsistency this season is starting to feel uncomfortably familiar. It echoes Coach Raheem Morris's time with the Buccaneers, where short-lived success eventually gave way to collapse. Despite this, Morris remains optimistic. "I feel like Kirk's going to come out of this and go on a run," he said recently. While it's good to stay hopeful, it's fair to question if this optimism is misplaced. Cousins currently leads the league with 15 interceptions and has shown little sign of breaking out of his slump. Now, Falcons fans, it's over to you. What do you think of Raheem Morris's comments and his handling of the quarterback situation? Is it time to give Michael Penix Jr. a chance, or should the team stick with Cousins and hope for the best? And what about Morris himself? Do you still believe he's the right person to lead this team, or are you starting to lose confidence in his vision? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's tackle the elephant in the room, the Falcons quarterback situation. Morris has once again doubled down on his loyalty to Kirk Cousins, even though the team is in the middle of a 4-game losing streak. In those games, Cousins has thrown 0 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, leaving fans baffled. Meanwhile, rookie quarterback Michael Penix Jr., drafted 8th overall, continues to sit on the bench. Morris has been clear about his reasoning. "I've said from the beginning, Penix is our future. We've all seen what happens when organizations rush their rookie quarterbacks, and it doesn't work out. I don't want to be that guy." It's a valid concern, but here's the question: at what cost? The Falcons' playoff hopes are fading fast. The NFC South now belongs to the Buccaneers, who have climbed to a 7-6 record, while the Falcons have dropped to 6-7. With only the division winner likely to make the playoffs, sticking with Cousins might just be the team's undoing. This decision is even more perplexing when you consider the Falcons' massive investment in Cousins. Despite his recent Achilles injury, the team signed him to a $180 million deal this offseason. They also spent a top 10 draft pick on Penix. For a team that started the season 6-3 and looked like a lock for the division title, these choices are raising eyebrows. The Falcons now face an easier schedule, with games against the Raiders, Giants, Commanders, and Panthers to close out the season. On paper, this should be their chance to turn things around. But with Cousins at the helm, can fans trust this team to deliver? Let us know what you think. What's the best way forward for the Falcons? Meanwhile, Falcons fans are likely hoping Morris sticks with his plan. However, as long as Cousins continues to struggle, the path for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to claim their 4th straight NFC South title becomes clearer. The Falcons still hold the season-high win over the Bucs, meaning Tampa needs to finish a full game ahead of Atlanta to clinch the division. But with the Bucs facing tougher opponents, including the Chargers and Cowboys, the door is still open for the Falcons if they can get their act together. Now we turn it over to you, Falcons fans. Do you agree with Morris's decision to stick with Cousins, or do you think it's time to give Penix a shot? Could the addition of Jakeem Grant provide the spark the Falcons desperately need on special teams? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Falcons updates. We'll see you next time, and as always, rise up.